Hi, I'm going to make a video about Chicago. If you're visiting Chicago, you just want to know what to see there, what are attractions and what are where. I happened to visit Chicago last week for the New Year 2021, and I myself saw a lot of videos and stuff just to get an idea what is where and what to see, where to start from. So I'm just going to give you an idea what you can actually do there and what are the main attractions. And particularly when I visited, I pretty much saw everything on my first day, and then we kept on seeing other things. So just want to show you around Chicago what is where, so your trip can be fully utilized. So first of all, the main attractions are in downtown, and let me zoom in and show you on the map what is where. So the number one thing that I heard about Chicago is that the parking is really expensive and that the traffic is really bad, and it's just better to use public transport and stuff. And I was really concerned about that. I was pretty much determined that I'll just gonna park my car at the place at the hotel, and then we're just gonna take the public transport. But when we visited there, we noticed that the traffic wasn't really that bad at all. Maybe it was because of the COVID and that Corona thing. And then there weren't a lot of visitors because it was pretty cold. It was January, end of December, January, and even in the parking lots. And the other thing that we heard is that the parking is really expensive, and that was also not true in a sense. I mean, it is true in a sense because it may cost you around $30, $25 or more. But if you're coming from New York or Boston area, then that is nothing, because that in Boston, even for 30 minutes, you end up paying $25. So here, if you're paying $25 or $30 for the whole 6-7 hours, so really that's not a bad deal at all. So just to give you an idea where you can actually start from and what is where. So the first thing that we did when I visited there, we actually came and parked our car right here, which is actually the Millennium Park, and this park is pretty big, but really the main attraction here is right here, the Cloud Gate, where there's this cloud thing, and some call it bean, but a lot of people actually take pictures here, but since we visited here, it was 31st December and there was just a lot of snow and the park was pretty much closed. It was just the side certain paths that you can actually walk in, but there were other areas in the park which were just either covered in snow or it was just fenced off, because you would not be able to walk freely, but you can visit and you can actually take pictures there. So that was not a problem. I mean, you should be able to roam around. So when you come here, preferably park in the northern part here. There is two sides. One is the northern, one is the southern. So either way is actually fine, but that way you're going to be a little bit closer to all the attractions. This is really one of the main attractions, just to take a picture with the cloud gate, and then you can just walk around in this area and kind of see the shore. This is a big lake and you can actually see the shoreline. So this costed us $14, $13.95 actually, and it was for 12 hours, so it wasn't really bad at all. I was really hoping it's going to be really high, but $1,400 if you're visiting and you just want to check the whole downtown, so it's really not a bad deal at all. The other thing that you can actually do is there might be street parking available, but I would suggest not to take street parking, because for that you have to actually load the meter every 2 hours, and even in that case, I think that hourly rate is, I believe, $2. So for 2 hours, you end up paying $4, and if you're there, you're definitely going to stay for more than 3-4 hours. So that will end up 8 or $10, and then you have to constantly gonna come back to the car and load the reload the meter as well. So I would just stick with the uh, just go into the parking garage and just park the car there. The other thing that you can do is actually download an app, and you can actually find a very decent parking which would probably be in $10 range, or maybe, $10 to $20 range, and you can actually find a nice parking somewhere on the ground as well. So that's the second option that you can do. Now, for the rest of the park, really there isn't much in this park, although there is a pretty big area, but there is not much. It's called Grand Park, and these are pretty much grounds, playgrounds, tennis grounds, and other fields. So the main attraction is right here, this part and this part. The others are, just you can probably walk around, but there's nothing much to explore there. It's just ground. So the other important things that you would want to know where they are is the Willis Tower, which is called Sears Tower, and this is the highest observatory in Chicago. And I believe, I don't know how much it costs, but this is closed right now because of the COVID situation. But this is something that is totally walkable here. So if you park your car here or maybe somewhere in this area, you should be able to walk to this. It's probably gonna be 10 minutes or maybe at most 15 minutes walk, which shouldn't be bad at all. The other important attractions here is this canal, which is pretty nice. And this particular area is where kind of the center where, it has the Trump Tower here, and then a lot of beautiful buildings. There is London Tower as well. And London Tower is where actually they also provide dining at the top floor. I think is floor number 21. It isn't cheap. I think it starts with $98, but that's something nice, especially if the weather is nice. That's going to be really, a fun thing to do. So the other important thing is that there are archaeological tours, the yacht tours, and that I believe goes into this canal, and I think that's really high rated. And when we went there last week in December, end of December, they were all closed, because of the weather, I believe. But you still can actually take a walk, and this should be a really nice walk. And I would recommend to actually go there in the evening after the sunset. That's where actually you'll be able to see all the lights, and it's just really really fun to visit that place. The other important things that you can actually do here is this North Michigan Drive. So this is really the main kind of really all these streets are nice, but this particular street, which starts from here. So let's say you park your car here, you just walk down this way, and then it's just there are malls on this side. Here there's a mall, the shops at Northbridge. This mall we didn't find, it is really close to all the attraction, but we found that a lot of stores were empty and it wasn't much fun. But down here there are Marshalls and TJ Maxx. They are on top of, actually on one floor is on the ground floor it's Marshall, on the top floor is TJ Maxx. They are worth visiting. They're just really big stores and really have a lot of stuff. The top brand names, Nordstrom, and then there are others, Bose and other shops all out there. You can actually visit them. They're just a bunch of them. You can check them out. Then the other important thing here is the 875 North Michigan Avenue, and this is the Hancock Tower, which is famous for the restaurant on the 98th story. So this is also closed right now. So even if you go there, you can just see all the lights and stuff. But other than that, it's closed. So because of the COVID situation. The other important attraction here is the Water Tower place. This is actually a shopping mall, and it's a pretty big one. It's actually 8-story, and this is like a lively place. And it has Macy's, which is actually 8 stories on top of each other, which is kind of interesting. So that is worth seeing. And beside that, you can actually, so this is kind of good for the first day. If you reach there, you can actually see all these attractions and just walk around the downtown and all that stuff. You can actually it's probably going to take 4 to 5 hours, and you'll be done with seeing pretty much everything here. The other things that you should be seeing is this particular island, which is called Northerly Island Park, and we really enjoyed it because we came all the way here, and these are all piers, and they're really it was picturesque. It was beautiful to look at the building from here, and there were no yachts when we went there because it was it was winter. It was January 1st, but the place is nice, and there will be always some kind of wind going on. This park we couldn't get here because the weather was it was pretty very chilly, so we didn't get here. The other important point that you want to visit is right here. This is actually a very nice area because there's when we were there was just a lot of uh, uh, hard kind of waves coming into the shoreline, and it was just beautiful just to see the whole scenery. You can actually see a glimpse of it. In here there is this planetarium, but and I believe there is a round circle around it as well that you can walk to, but we didn't because it was just cold and windy when we went there. So most of the museums here and other attractions are all closed as of 2021, and that's pretty much. Pretty much, what you're going to see is what is just out in the open. And the other important thing that I would advise you guys to see is the Obama House, and let me show you where that is. It's right here beside the Washington George Park. So this is Obama family home, and this street is, by the way, closed, so you would not be able to actually go into this street. You can probably come this way and just park over here and then maybe take some pictures over here, but there are signs that you cannot actually trespass here, or you cannot even take a like there is security here and things like that. So they don't want you to see this place. I don't know why, but there are some signs that prohibits you from visiting there, even walking there. But we did there. We kind of took some pictures there as well. So other than that, if you are from subcontinent and you want to try some Indian food, so you do want to check out the Devon Street, which is, I believe, somewhere here. I actually have to find it out. So, it's somewhere here, and I think that it's really nice place, and I would recommend you guys to just visit at nighttime because it's beautifully lit. And the famous place there, let me actually search there. Oh, actually, it's right here. Okay, so this is where the Devon Street is, and Sabri Nihari is the famous restaurant here. And there's another one famous which we heard of was Gharib Nawaz. This is also famous, and there's a lot of really nice restaurants there. But these are just some of the two that we heard praise from, and these two are also one of the good ones. But if you want to try some Indian food, definitely visit Devon Street as well. So that's pretty much just a quick guide by map, and I hope that it was helpful in some way. And if you want to know anything, just comment in the video, and I'll try to answer your question as well. So thank you.